Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Tuesday, 5th of May. In this update, the US says its military ships and other cargo vessels have been sailing through the Strait of Hormuz. Yesterday, President Donald Trump vowed to escort ships through the crucial waterway, calling it a humanitarian gesture. However, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps says any claims ships are sailing through the strait are baseless. At a European leaders' summit, French President Emmanuel Macron repeated the message: the US and Israel are on the front line of this war alone. He says France won't participate in a forceful operation in a framework which isn't clear. The Prime Minister's eyeing up more bilateral deals similar to the one struck with Singapore. It's agreed to protect our fuel supply and New Zealand to keep food flowing in return during economic shocks. The two countries have also pledged to not impose export restrictions on each other. Christopher Luxon says he discussed with his Singaporean counterpart what other countries might be up for such a deal. He says some of the 16 small countries in the future of investment and trade partnership could be interested and will be hosted at a meeting in July. 2 people have died and 22 others injured after a car drove into a crowd in the eastern German city of Leipzig. Police say the car's driver struck several people in a central square before leaving the scene and was later arrested. Only about 40% of Auckland households that received a food waste bin are actively using it. About 62,000 tonnes of food waste from Auckland curbsides has been converted to renewable energy and fertiliser in the 2 years since the scheme started. Auckland Council says the initiative helps build energy resilience at a time when global supply chains are under strain. Pressure is building on the government to provide funding for universities in this year's budget. The Tertiary Education Commission warns funding may not cover all domestic enrolments next year, with 7 of our 8 universities reporting enrolment growth. A temporary 4% funding increase was also recently scrapped. Labour's tertiary education spokesperson Shannon Halbert says it's the second year the government has failed to fund enrolments. If you're waiting for a pay rise, you might be out of luck. New research by Seek has found 83% of workers expect to get one in the next 12 months, but only half received one last year. Just over 40% of New Zealanders are happy with their current salary. Seek's Rob Clark says at the moment employees most need relief is when employers can least afford it. He says that's why there needs to be plenty of dialogue around business performance and where the organisation is at financially. In sport, former hybrid flanker wing Eric Rush believes Lester Fainga'anuku has displayed the skill set required to fill the role for the All Blacks. Former Silver Ferns coach Yvonne Willering claims the ANZ Premiership netball returns of 48-year-old Leana de Bruin and 40-year-old Casey Kopua were special cases, rather than indicating a lack of defensive depth in New Zealand's game. Nottingham Forest, the home of All Whites captain Chris Wood, has taken a further step towards Premier League football survival by beating Chelsea. I'm Nivareti Manu, and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.